Hello, Steve White, Trek Boy 89 for Steve Arts 89. Well, I just watched Picard Season 3, Episode 10, the final episode, The Last Generation. It was amazing. It stuck the landing. It delivered. It was great. I mean, I literally, my mouth was hanging open and I was like just in awe of some moments and just, oh my godding through a few moments and crying for a few moments. It was really great. The only thing, I'll get the bad out of the way, the only thing missing from this season was Whoopi Goldberg. They wasted her on season 2. She was basically at the bar with Picard and a bunch of strangers she never knew. She should have been here with the Next Generation crew celebrating, saving the world basically. No spoilers there, they saved the world, it's okay. But I don't know why Whoopi didn't appear. I know that she had most of the cast on The View. They built a set. She dressed up as Guinan. I don't know why she didn't just do a cameo. I mean, I don't know, maybe they couldn't afford her, but she could have just done it for the sake of it and just said, donate some money to a charity in my name, I'll show up. So that's really the only thing missing from the series, the only thing that they could have done, should have done, but didn't do. And there's only one stupid moment in the whole episode, and it's an Orville moment. At a pivotal moment, not a quiet moment, an important moment, basically they have an Orville moment where Worf falls asleep and snores for a couple of seconds, and it's just totally out of place. It's not funny. It makes no sense, and it's the kind of thing you'd expect from the Orville, and that's part of the reason why I don't like the Orville, because it does those sort of things and has that sort of attitude towards science fiction in general and doesn't take things seriously, and it kind of undermined part of the moment in the episode. But so that's the bad out of the way. Now the good. Now the episode starts off with an amazing cameo from Walter Koenig, which makes sense. He's basically one of the last existing members of the original Star Trek. I don't know. They probably should have got George Takei in to do something, but he did something on Lower Decks. So but no William Shatner. I think some people thought he was going to pop up, especially after Kirk's body was seen in Daystrom, but no, he didn't. And he was playing Anton Chekhov, an ancestor of Chekhov. Anton, of course, honouring Anton Yelchin, who I just watched last night in the remake of Fright Night, and it was so sad to watch him again because he died so young. So to have an original cast member appear in the episode, although it's only a voiceover, they probably couldn't afford an actual performance, and to have him take on this character that had the name of the other actor who played that character, it was a great way to honour him. So that's basically, he's the president, and he's basically saying avoid the planet Earth because it's going down. And it doesn't take them long to work out what the problem is, what they've got to do. It's not a complicated problem in that sense that there is a Borg cube. It's been hiding in the gas storms of Jupiter, and it is huge and is sending out a signal that is controlling all the humans and, making them use the fleet to basically attack Earth. And if we destroy the beacon, basically it all falls apart. But, of course, the beacon is, Jack's part of that process. So they risk destroying Jack, and that's a sacrifice that Crusher and Picard realise they have to make. They have to put the rest of the world and the rest of the universe and everything before them and their son. And it's a challenge they rise to. And it's painful to watch Beverly have those moments, but it's really great. Everything is great in this episode. Basically, Worf, Riker, and Picard go down to the surface down into the Borg cube. Worf and Riker go off to take down the beacon, while Picard goes to rescue Jack. He finds the Borg Queen, and she has turned into some sort of alien queen mixed with Elephant Man, mixed with the original Borg Queen and the Borg Queen design. it's pretty horrific. I'm great Alice Krige came back, although they could have hit anyone in that makeup physically, but performance-wise, it's her, and it's great to have her finish this character. And the idea was that the Borg was abandoning assimilation and they were going to use evolution and going to annihilate. It wasn't just about assimilating. So it was interesting to see her new take and what she was planning to do, and to see Jack sort of in this fake sort of world where he felt connected, and Picard basically went in by having himself be assimilated and speaking to Jack. And Jack basically says, I feel like I'm home. I feel, this is my home. And Picard says, well, if you won't leave, I'll stay. And eventually Jack wakes up to the fact that he does have a family. He has a mother, he has a father, and he isn't alone, and it's all been about the Borg. And he does save his father, and he saves everyone basically by leaving the Borg Queen and the collective and helping them in their last minute, because basically what they work out they have to do is they basically have to blow up the beacon, and they're going to kill Riker, Worf, Picard and Jack, and Beverly actually fires the torpedoes. And I was like saying to the screen to Geordie, you're not going to let her actually do that, like get up there and man the panel, don't, like, because she's on weapons. So that, okay, but there are a couple of great moments. We see the Enterprise fly into this gigantic Borg cube, and it's like flying around like the Millennium Falcon in the Death Star. And when you hear that description, and if I'd been told that, I would have thought that it's not going to work, but it was amazing. It was great. I didn't know I needed to see it, but, it was amazing. And then we actually have a moment where Troy saves the day. She connects with Riker because they can't find them, and they've blown everything up, and they've only got about a minute for them to get out, but they can't find them. And she feels Riker. She feels William where he is, and she basically takes the helm and brings the Enterprise down in and hovers directly over them inside the Borg cube, and they beam them up, and they see the Enterprise, see them beam up with the Enterprise, above them, and then they just leave and fly out of the Borg cube as it's blowing up, basically. And it's amazing. I didn't think it would be that good. Now, the other side of the story is fairly simple. 7 and 9 realize if they cloak, they can block the signal and get control of the Titan back. So they're constantly cloaking and then coming out, attacking and then cloaking again, and they're sort of doing this pattern. And it's working for a while, but eventually it falls apart, and they get knocked out, and they're basically just waiting to die like everyone else. The starbase is taken down, the Earth's defences are taken down, and the Borg are basically training all their phasers and photon torpedoes on all the whole of Starfleet's weapons are basically trained on all the cities on Earth, and they're about to take Earth out, basically. And that is, of course, when Jack pulls himself out of the collective, and they start to dismantle the beacon, basically, by him leaving, and then the Enterprise actually blowing it up, and they get out. Now, the rest of the episode is just a lot of about 15 minutes of just winding things down. We see Picard and Crusher both become admirals. 7 and 9 becomes captain of the Titan, which was actually recommended by Shaw. We see that Jack has been fast-tracked through the Academy, and now he's an ensign on the Titan. And the Titan is no longer the Titan. The Titan has been renamed the Enterprise. And when Picard and Beverly come in to drop Jack off, they see the Titan, but what they don't know, and what they surprise Picard with, is it's been renamed the Enterprise G. And I'm like, couldn't they have called it the Picard? Couldn't it have been the USS Picard that they were on? That would have been more of a tribute to him, and it would have gotten past the ridiculousness of, the F, the G, because we've gone past the F straight to the G. It's like, okay, I know there's 26 letters in the alphabet, but at some point. And Raffi is the number one. LaForge is the helm, and the Hot Lieutenant is still the Hot Lieutenant. And yeah, it's basically it. And the last scene of the episode is the original 7 crew members at 10 forward on Earth playing poker together, and just celebrating the fact that they saved the Earth and they survived and they're a family and they're still together, and it's really beautiful. The only thing missing was Whoopi Goldberg. Like I said, she's mentioned in the scene, but she's not actually there. But then we get to the mid-credit sequence. I'd heard there was a mid-credit sequence, and I didn't really think about it. I forgot about it. And I'm like, oh my God, what? Q reappears. Q, who they killed in the second season. Apparently no. Basically, they just threw out season 2. The half of season 2 was about Q and his death. And it was kind of ridiculous. I mean, the actors sold it. I bought into it. But yeah, it didn't work and they threw it out. And it was just such a slap in the face to season 2 of Discovery. Not Discovery, Picard. They really basically just threw it out. And you really can just watch season 3 all on its own. So they've really, really gone hard to set up Star Trek Legacy. They've got 7 of 9 captaining the new Enterprise G with Picard's son and Geordie's daughter and the Hot Lieutenant and the odd, funny little lieutenant and what was she named? I don't know. But basically the crew, aside from Shaw and the bald, slightly narcissistic Vulcan, pretty much everyone survived except for them, and they're going out on a shakedown mission and everything, and it's like, this is what we want. We want to see this. We want to see a current day, 24th or 25th century, next generation era show with this crew basically just following the adventures of the new Enterprise. And there's no reason why we can't have 2 Enterprises. It is a bit much to have the Enterprise from the 23rd century and the Enterprise from the 25th century on TV at the same time. But as long as they're not overlapping, I think we can handle it. But yeah, if they don't do this, because they have they've really put Paramount in a situation where they've set it all up, and if they don't take it on, they're going to be the biggest a-holes in the galaxy, because we're never going to forgive them. So I hope Legacy happens, and I hope it's more of a series about exploration and Starfleet than just this sort of wrapping up all the drama and storylines from the whole of the Next Generation era, which this sort of did. And sort of it made Picard a bit smaller by making the Bullet Queen his nemesis, and this his story, because his story was always exploring the universe, and that's a much bigger story than just being essentially assaulted by the Borg and then trying to recover from that, having that affect his children and his life, and then sort of having to fix that and survive that. It sort of makes his story a bit smaller, but it does work. It was great, but Star Trek is really about exploration, and I just want a series that just goes out and explores without all the baggage. So will we get that? I don't know. Will they save it for after Enterprise and just sort of have a few years of a few years of Strange New Worlds, and then go on to Legacy, because they made us wait, I think, 2 years for Strange New Worlds. Maybe they'll make us wait a bit for this, because Kurtzman is determined to do these shows that he wants to do. We don't want to see Section 31. We don't want to see the 32nd century Starfleet Academy, but he's doing it. But we want Legacy, and they're not really paying attention. But I think Paramount's going to make them pay attention, because as long as we keep asking for it and keep making noise, they can't not hear us. They heard us with Strange New Worlds, didn't quite get what we wanted, but pretty close. It was a real love letter to Star Trek, real Star Trek fans and Next Generation fans, and a real slap in the face to Discovery era fans and Picard season 2 and 3, 1 and 2, because they really did throw so much of that out, and you really can just skip season 1 and 2, just watch season 3. And it'd be really hard to watch season 1 and 2 after seeing season 3 and take some of it seriously, because they just threw it out and it's just pointless. But okay, so this is my review. I did not mean to talk this long, but it's really hard not to. The episode was great. I mean, it was painful though because my computer was buffering the whole time, and it took about 2 hours to watch the hour-long episode. It was painful. I look forward to watching it again, and I look forward to having it on Blu-ray so I can watch it without having to worry about buffering and streaming. But yep, I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I really loved the series. I love the season. And I really hope we get Legacy, and it's basically the same quality. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I was really sad for it to end, and I hope we get more. Sorry about my voice, I don't know what just happened. But yeah, I'm going to go. Bye.